If you suffer from butthurt syndrome, or are generally bitch-made, do not watch this video.
But now I'll rise above you.
I never got that. You just speak what you have on your mind and what happens to be on your sleeve. Correct, I do wear my heart on my sleeve. And I really don't care much for people that like to be butthurt because someone else speaks some truth or some facts or whatever. I don't have that kind of time. So yeah, like yesterday I started the stream. And one of the first things I said, not in the exact words that I'm about to say, but one of the first things that I said in yesterday's stream was that the Warframe community consists of a lot of retards, right? Now, hear the words exactly, though. Consists of a lot of retards. I didn't say everybody that plays Warframe is a reward. I said the community consists of a lot of retards, right? And everybody, literally everyone that was here, all 50, 60, 70, 80, I don't know how many people were there, here at the time, but everybody was just like, yeah, we know, yeah, it'd be like that, we know exactly what you mean, except one. One person seemed to be really offended and butthurt. That's okay, though. Sounds like DE still sees difficulty as a threat instead of an incentive. Yeah, maybe. It would appear so. But I'm pretty confident that I'm pretty confident that if DE would reintroduce proper difficulty and some punishment for being shit at the game, right? Yeah, they'd probably lose a bunch of Fortnite mains. Sure. But I think they'd regain the quality gamers. You know what I mean? The quality Warframe gamers. Let me make an example. This is also something that I mentioned to my whammon, and she was like, holy shit, you've got a point. So, like I said, the other day I started the stream by saying the Warframe community is a bunch of retards, right? Not everybody, obviously, just the retards. The problem is that like 90% of the Warframe fanatics are retarded, right? They're somehow stupid. No offense to anyone, but they really are. They don't have brain cells. I refuse to believe that many of them have brain cells, because if they did, they wouldn't behave the way that they do, right? Like you guys all seem to be certainly totally fine and intelligent and everything, and if DE gave you guys a chance to speak on behalf of the game and like kind of give them ideas on how to fix the game or how to improve the game, that many of you would give really, really good feedback and just be like, all right, let me think about it. I have the chance to help this game become better. What could I do to help? And then you'd probably put some thought into it. Fact of the matter is that the majority of the community ain't like that. The majority of the community are guys that go like, Ooga booga skins, right? So, to me, that's retarded. So, I'm going to call the Warframe community retards, right? Okay. Now, back in the day, that wasn't the case. Back in the day, it was the other way around. The majority of the Warframe community were hardcore Warframe fanboys and girls, but, you know, sensible people, like you guys, like us here, right? Sensible people that could really help DE, and when DE did reach out to the community, and they're like, yo guys, what can we do? Community did like this. Alright, let me think about it. Well, maybe this, maybe that, and blah blah, and they would always come up with something cool and new to do, right? One example of that result of DE working together with the community and listening, and also the community feedback being quality feedback, is Nova. Nova is a community Warframe, designed by the community, right? Look at how awesome Nova is. Nova is such an amazing Warframe. She is so good. She's well-rounded, she has synergies, she can do insane amounts of damage if you want her to. You can build her several different ways and use her in several different ways. She looks really, really dope. She has some of the dopest skins to date. She's been, since then, a fan favorite since basically 7 years now, right? Since forever, basically. And she's just really dope, okay? This frame was designed in a day and age where The majority of the community was, you know, the kind of people that actually put thought into the game. That were not Ooga Booga skin kind of people, right? Now, we have a new frame that was designed by the community. Zaku. And what is Shaka Zulu? A fucking mess. Shaka Zulu is just a broken mess. He's a mess, a mashup of a lot of really bad ideas that are dumb, right? Shaka Zulu was released, what, 2 months ago? The bitch still is being fixed and balanced. He still isn't done. DE still isn't done balancing him. Now, what does that tell you? You know what I mean? Think about it. Think about it for a second. There's a massive difference in Warframe quality between Shaka Zulu, that was developed or conjured up by the community, versus Shaka Zulu, that was also conjured up by the community. Is that a coincidence? I don't know, man. I don't think so. Thanks for the funny hours. That was a good point. I always have good points. Because, you know, I actually use my head a little bit. I may not have many brain cells, but the few that I have, man, I put those bitches to work. You know? But the fact they willing to pull it off in the first place is still troubling. They only fixed it after massive backlash. When it comes to feedback, right? It's really hard to blame DE because, at least in one aspect, it's really hard to blame DE when it comes to feedback. Because, like I said, when 90% of the people that you ask are stupid, then 90% of the feedback you will get is going to be stupid. Which means that the 10% of the good feedback is always going to be diluted and obscured. And it's really, really difficult to cut through 90% worth of dumb stuff, right? It's really difficult when you have tens of thousands of comments. It's really hard, right? So in that sense, when Digital Extremes asks the player base, what should we focus on? And they have 200,000 votes and 190,000 of them say Ooga Booga skins, right? Then they'll be like, wow, people want skins? Really? Alright. Fine, I guess, you know, and what will they do? Add more skins. And for all the relevant stuff, like game mechanics and stuff, they'll just kind of do what they think, what they want, basically. Right? However, that only goes to a certain extent. Because when you take into account how DE decides to acquire feedback, then it's back into their court. It's their fault then if they get stupid feedback. They ask game-changing questions on Twitter. Often. Twitter. Where every mongrel that years ago maybe followed the Warframe account will see it and get a say on it and a vote. I don't know about you guys, but if somebody started playing Warframe 3 years ago for 30 minutes and thought it was a stupid game, but during the 30 minutes or after watching a video before they started playing it, they followed Warframe. That person then immediately quit after 30 minutes and doesn't even like the game. That person suddenly gets a message in their feed about Warframe developers asking, what should we focus on? Do you think that that person should get a vote? No, I think that person needs to shut the fuck up, right? Be quiet, go into a corner, play Fortnite, shut up. You know, your opinion doesn't matter. I know equality and everything and democracy, great, whoop-de-doo, but when it comes to developing a video game, people that don't even play the fucking game have no vote, and they have no rights. Okay, I don't care how savage that sounds, that's just common sense, right? So I don't understand why DE doesn't just go ahead and drop those things where the relevant people will actually see it. You know, like in-game, in the news feed, perhaps. You know? Because only people that'll see it there are people that are actually live. You know? That are actually logged in and look at the news feeds. Those are the only people that'll see it. And I'm pretty certain that those people have way better feedback to give, right? Way more valuable feedback to give versus a bunch of degenerates on Twitter. You know what I mean? It's just silly to me. It's just silly. Last 10 cent situation has shown us how low IQ majority of the player base is. Twitter, Twitch chat. Yes. Yes, it's true. There are a lot of brainlets. in the online realm. And I think this might sound a little weird, and maybe it's far-fetched, but it's just a hypothesis. I think that part of the reason why a lot of Warframe players specifically just happen to be brainlets is because Warframe requires no brains to play. You don't need a brain to play or even defeat Warframe. You get in here, you turn your brain off, you spam a couple buttons, you kill everything, you gain stuff, you build that stuff, and then you can kill slightly more difficult stuff. And before you know it, you're caught in this acquisition game where the only thing that matters is getting everything and min-maxing everything, and while you're doing red crits, feeling great about yourself and thinking how amazingly important and powerful you are because you're red critting against Earth-level enemies, right? You completely miss the point that there's no challenge and no reason at all to do any of this. You know? So it kind of makes sense that more Ooga Boogas are in the game. Again, I don't know, that might be false, but it would make sense, I guess. Like I said, it's just a hypothesis. I think it was Quite Shy that made jokes about actually exactly the brainlets. When DE asked, what do you guys want, and people, you know, for the new community frame, and people got to vote, that the ballerina frame was pretty high up on that list, and I was like, man, it's just... And then there are players complaining about Fortuna being too hard. Oh my god, it's too hard. Oh my god, DE, Nihil is too hard. Please nerf. I hate how difficult he is to beat. Shut the fuck up. Oh my god. Oh my god. Literally, that boss fight is just jump occasionally. That's it. Jump, pick up a thing, throw the thing, you win. And there are Warframe players out there saying that's hard? You get what I mean, right? When I say that, unfortunately, thankfully not everyone, but unfortunately, 90% of the Warframe community are a bunch of brainlets. You get why now, right? I hope you see why. Like, no offense, but like, they're stupid. Not all of them, but many. Too many, to be honest. Maybe you don't get what is difficult about that fight. I did it for the first time with a controller because I'm playing on PlayStation 4 without watching any tutorial about it. Exactly my point. Like, not memeing, not trying to be insulting or sarcastic or anything like that. But there's literally nothing difficult about that fight. Nothing. Not a single goddamn thing. And yet, somehow, a lot of people are complaining and are mad at DE why they made that fight so difficult. Like, they find it unreasonable that the guy can kill you with one swing. Like, does that, am I the only one, or does anybody else feel like they want to scream shut the fuck up at the top of their lungs? I do, because that's nim-witted. Let's be serious, come on now. That's nim-witted. That's like saying Super Mario is too hard because they don't jump high enough. It's so stupid. It's really, really dumb. Really, really, really dumb.
Think for yourselves, don't be sheep.